This one right here, right?
Yeah. But
I couldn't even hear it. Well, welcome, Easily Offended Podcast.
You know why you couldn't hear it? Because of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Let's bring it down a little bit.
Easily Offended Podcast, man, we are here. What, this is episode 15?
16.
Episode 16. God damn it. It's been a long time. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. It's been a while.
How y'all been doing? How y'all brothers been going?
I've been well, man.
Been well?
Yeah, man. I can't complain at all.
Beat anybody ass lately? Slaying anybody to the mat?
No. I mean, just in training, but not in like.
Not in real life?
Not in real life, no.
Okay. Catch you at the bar.
Non-violence, brother. Non-violence.
Violence is necessary, man. Never say non-violence.
I mean, yeah, I know that doesn't mean I can't get violent when necessary, but my default, I am a peaceful brother, man. I don't want no static with nobody, man. You know.
Chris, what's been going on with you, man?
Shit.
Father's Day's coming up, man.
Hell yeah. That's all I've been doing is being a father, man. I ain't been doing nothing, man. I've been chilling.
Everybody been chilling.
Yeah, I went to Louisville.
Yeah, that was a brew city, right?
Well,
whiskey
distilleries.
Because you sounded pretty lit when I talked to you.
Yeah. I had a good time. So went down there for a couple of days. Went to a few distilleries. I went down there on a Monday and a Tuesday, and most things are closed on Monday and Tuesday in Louisville. Didn't fucking know that. Didn't plan properly. That's my bad. It was just kind of like a thing. Just went down there. I still got a chance to go to a few of them, though. Had a good time. No?
That's what's up.
It's all right.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm fresh off vacay. Coming off of my homeboy Ron Asia's celebration. That was real. It was a beautiful wedding.
Kind of dark, man. You look Dominican.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to peel a little bit. Like I had to oil up.
Yeah, it looked like you could start speaking Espanol at any moment.
Nah, man, Mexico was beautiful. One thing I love about black weddings is this is my first destination wedding. First time outside the country. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say that, but you know, it is what it is.
Hey man,
First time is your first time.
Exactly, man.
But
there's no shame in that.
It was a beautiful thing. My man Ron, he's from Detroit, so I believe Asia's from here. 150 people came to that man's wedding.
That's dope, especially for a destination.
Yeah, like we came in as like strangers, but we left family. Oh. You know what I'm saying? It was a real good time, beautiful wedding. It was good to see all the black people together, all the different races, because everybody was there, from Ethiopian to Egyptian to white. It was just a vibe.
Some
man.
United Nations shit. Yeah,
it was a vibe, G. And them motherfuckers got turned. One night I had 12 shots of tequila, 4 margaritas, and 2 beers. I don't even know how I got to the hotel.
There's no way. There's at the ripe old age of 40 years old, and my days of doing that have long passed. Bro,
and the night I got that intoxicated, I missed the Mexican midget leprechaun pimp. So yeah, it's a real thing. Like he was literally short as fuck.
Wait, hold on.
Little people. He was a little people. Is that the proper word to say?
I mean, yeah, to be respectful, but I just want to get everything that you said. You said Mexican midget leprechaun pimp. Okay, please continue, please.
So, like, the guy saw him Thursday night. So Friday morning, it was a thing because everybody was talking about it because I didn't see it. So I'm like, what? He's like, bro, the nigga's about this tall. He like, I almost walked over the nigga. Like, I didn't even see the motherfucker. But he had his ladies out. You know what I'm saying?
So he was a real life pimp.
He was a real life pimp dressed in a leprechaun costume, and he was Mexican, and he was a little person.
Was it really like a leprechaun outfit, or it was just, just short and he looked like
he just had on the green suit?
No, he had on the green. He had the mask on, bro.
Oh, like the actual leprechaun movie.
Yeah. Like they hustle down there in Mexico. They hustle. So like when you walking down there, they got people like dressed up like as the mask, Beetlejuice, stuff like that.
Oh,
and
so he was a leprechaun.
He was also a pimp, but he was also a hustler. Take a picture with the leprechaun, yeah, that'd be $5. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do.
Oh, so all right. So he was a pimp that hustled.
He hustled.
He was enterprising.
Right.
He had to be from like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, you got to be from Chicago, G. That's like a lot of fucking hustles. But yeah, man, that was beautiful. I didn't get a chance to see him this Saturday night because the 12 shots of tequila and shit like that. I was really looking for him, though. I really was looking for him. I wanted to see that nigga.
You never found him.
Never found him. I saw the ladies, but I was too intoxicated. Plus, I had my lady with me, and I'm trying to hold her up. And walking through the streets of Mexico, like the dudes down there, they got straight AK-47s. You can't see nothing. They in all black or this army fatigue shit just outside. Like security everywhere. It was crazy. It was a good time, though. But shout out to Ron and Asia for their wedding. It was a beautiful time.
For their nuptials.
Celebrate black love, you know what I mean?
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, man. It was a great thing. But other than that, man, my life has been pretty much chill. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much chill.
You still doing the Uber? Like
Yeah, man. So I picked up an Uber ride. And any guys that's out here, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the listeners out there that's single in their 40s and you're a man. This man, I picked this dude up from downtown. He was talking about these dating sites that he was on. He's a divorcee. You know what I'm saying? He has 2 kids, full custody of his daughters. He's in his mid-40s, and he just gets in the Uber and just starts rambling about like how dating life is shit. And I was like, man, bro, like, is it okay? Like, you all right? And he like, man, it just sucks. He's like, every dating site has a different situation. So he like, I didn't go to Tinder. I didn't go to Bumble. I didn't go to Hinge. He like, a friend of mine told me about Fetish Life. So it's an app. I looked it up. It's a real app.
Fetish Life.
So there's a bunch of people that has like wild, crazy sexual fantasies. And it's a community.
Okay.
So he found somebody on there. She claimed it was her first time on there. Mm-hmm. She's 42, soccer mom, Naperville.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he like, I'm thinking this is going to be a cool little date. You feel me? He get on the date. Within like 10 minutes, she's talking about, so like, look, when you face fuck my face, if I start crying, just keep going. And I was just like, where's
typical?
I was like, where's
So what's the problem?
But in his eyes, you got to think about it. He's 40s, mid-40s, single for 6 years. He hasn't really been out in the dating scene. You know what I mean? He was like, it was just a shocker to him. Like, wait, can we just get through the appetizers first, bitch? Like,
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with just setting the parameters for the evening. You know what I'm saying?
What was he expecting? What
did he did meet her on Fetish Life. So it was there. So like, what would you expect?
What was he expecting?
That's what I told him, and he was like, "Well, I'm new. I don't know these gadgets and these apps."
How new
I'm
you
like,
are. You sound crazy as hell being surprised from that.
This is true. This is true.
But he just went on a ramble about all his bad dates. And he like, the awkward part is his daughter plays the soccer mom daughter in soccer. So he like, I'm out on the soccer field staring at her mom like, if you only knew what your mom did with that face. Like, he was just like, it was just insane to me. And then he got stood up on the date.
That's unfortunate.
He was very upset. He was very upset.
Sound like he don't need to be on that site. Well, he probably wouldn't know what to do with that lady anyway. He wouldn't appreciate her. So
obviously.
So that's what it is.
That's just not the site for him.
Right, it ain't for him.
Yeah.
He should be on Christian Mingle. He needs to find him a good, wholesome Christian. But probably a lot of them are probably on that fetish site too. So I mean,
yeah, man.
You know what he needs? He needs to fucking grow up. That's his problem. He needs to grow up and just accept. That some people like to be face fucked to tears.
That just sounds crazy when you say it.
I mean, well, if that's not the life for you,
it ain't your thing. It ain't your thing.
It ain't. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So but
yeah.
I mean, it is crazy though. I mean, I think a lot more people are kind of like maybe being more open about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It is. I will say, first time meeting. Okay. So I feel like there's some details missing. There has to be, right? Because if you meet somebody on a site, you're going to have some conversations first, right?
Yeah.
If you're on a fetish site, so I'm going to assume that somehow you have some sort of conversations. Maybe, possibly, or maybe you just set up a meeting time. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, maybe you could wait a little while before you say anything, but it's just like...
They're in their 40s, bro. They don't give a damn. Like, look, she ain't had no time to waste. Keep doing your thing, lady. Whoever you are, keep doing.
Soccer mom in Naperville. We see you.
She ain't had no time to waste. Like, look, this one I'm into. What up? No, okay.
Yeah.
If
you don't do it, somebody else will.
Right.
Yeah, I was blown away. I was like, bro, like that's just the dating scene now. And he got stood up on a date. He went downtown. He talked to the girl, the woman. You know what I'm saying? Which was he said she's a well-known artist. Okay. He looked up, Googled the name, New York Times article popped up. Okay. So he's thinking like this is going to be totally different from my last experiences. So the lady ended the date on his way downtown. So he was like, bro, it's like the dating thing is so bad because he's like, I spent like $500. Like a babysitter ain't cheap. That's $150 for overnight. Another $50 for the Uber ride. It was $100 reservation at the restaurant that you had to pay first before they even sit down, and a $50 bar guarantee. So that's $150 right there. She comes, she doesn't show up. He goes anyway, has his drink, has his meal, meets another young lady, buys her an appetizer, buys her a couple drinks, great conversation. Went to pay the bill, she disappears. Ghost. In the wind.
I mean, that shit happens, bro.
I was like, baby, you just got bad luck in dating.
I mean, he'll be all right, man.
Yeah, but it was just wild. Like some of these Uber rides I be getting sometimes, stories I be hearing.
I'm sure you hear a lot of shit.
The conversations, two rich white kids in the back of the university talking about, my mom had to speak for the CEO board this morning, so she couldn't call and wish me happy birthday. Like what?
Hey, he was hurt.
But she's paying for the dinner. We can order whatever. The limit's $5,000. It's nothing, but I would have wished I got a phone call. It's like,
hey, that actually says a lot right there.
It does. A lot of levels. A lot of levels.
Yeah, I guess money ain't everything.
Money ain't everything. He wanted love from his mama. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah. I want $5,000.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
But what are we talking about today, man? We got like some deep issues, some real hard-hitting topics today.
Yeah, this episode is going to be, there's going to be some hard-hitting, as you said, some things that we need to discuss.
What's the first one we got?
First one, BLM money.
Okay, yeah. Didn't she
Black Lives Matter.
I just want to know, okay, how are you that bold?
Well, okay, when you say how are you that bold, what do you mean?
How do you create this Black Lives Matter movement, right? Y'all protest everywhere, every city, whatever the case may be. And then you have the audacity to buy a property with the money that was fundraised or donated. Granted, she did have a excuse. Oh, it's for refugees or people that suffer.
But they said it was supposed to be like an artist retreat. Primarily it was supposed to be an artist retreat. So they spent $6 million on that house. So basically what happened was
2 properties, by the way, not just one.
Two.
One in Canada.
Once again, how can you be that bold?
There is one in Canada. The $6 million property is the one in California.
Both of them are $6 million.
Both of them are $6 million.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So they released some of their financial information.
All of the financial. They had no choice. It was the 2020 financial.
But it was just up until the fiscal year ending in June of 2021.
June 2021.
Yeah. So they raised $90 million in 2020. By October, they were purchasing $6 million homes. Right now. Like I said, the main reason for the house was supposed to be an artist retreat.
What does that mean?
Basically, I don't really know, but basically, I guess for people that just like maybe like an art incubator space for people that are like, I guess, starving artists or people that are trying to
make it.
Yeah, they can come out there and live. I mean, California is a place for that. But I'm not sure. I'm just telling you what they said.
Mm-hmm.
They did give
bullshit,
out.
But go ahead.
They did give out $21.7 million. $21.7 million in grants to various organizations and to other BLM chapters. But hold on.
Taking the money from one pocket and putting it into another. Okay.
So speaking of taking money from one pocket and putting it into another, so Black Lives Matter at the time only had one voting board member when the donations were coming in and the properties were purchased. And a family member of hers, Patrice Cullors is her name. She was one of the founding members of Black Lives Matter and the executive director. She stepped down as the executive director in May of 2021. So, why. Right. So a family member of hers. So they said she is listed as not having a solid salary. She was supposed to be a paid volunteer.
Okay.
But a family member of hers by the name of Paul Cullors was listed as receiving payment for security services. You want to know how much he received for his security services?
How much?
$840,993. So almost $1 million for security services.
Okay, what see, that's what I need details. Like, why are you paying?
So on April 3rd of this year, their new board members have been announced. So they're trying to set policies in place, build infrastructure, and trying to make it more of a
legitimate business,
legitimate organization. Now, just plain devil's advocate, right? Black Lives Matter was really just kind of like a hashtag that developed into a movement. Well, a movement, hashtag, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I honestly didn't even know that there was an actual organization until 2020. Right. I thought it was just a hashtag.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my own ignorance.
I think everybody basically thought it was like a hashtag until they started seeing it everywhere, and then it was publicized, CNN, news, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Even though they painted them in a bad picture, but
Right, but in George Floyd, when all that stuff happened, which we'll get into later, that there was a big catalyst, and you saw that everybody was just making donations. That was kind of like the white guilt thing that organizations were doing when we donated to Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And so that was the time I was wondering myself, so damn, they getting a lot of donations. What are they doing with this money? And you never really heard about anything they were doing, you know what I'm saying? Like any sort of initiatives that they had. All you heard was people were donating to them. At least that's what I heard. They listed $8.4 million in operating expenses in that year. But they started with $90 million. Now they're down to about 45. So over half of the money is already gone. Now they said they did donate, I guess, the $21.7 million to various organizations and BLM chapters. Now I didn't see a breakdown of what the organizations got versus the other Black Lives Matter chapters. But fact of the matter is, it doesn't look good. But one thing that I saw, which is kind of true, is you talking about just basic activists, people just trying to start something to be heard. Mm-hmm. And then somehow they end up coming into this huge windfall of money. And it's maybe they just kind of didn't know how to do what to do, how to handle it.
Can we stop bullshitting?
I'm just playing devil's advocate. So I now that they have this new board, I want to see what happens going forward. But it definitely looks like right now that they were just kind of hustling motherfuckers. And they got a quick come up, a massive come up, a $90 million come up. I would like to see a breakdown of what organizations were giving money. But like I said, that's not information that I was able to find. But right now, it doesn't look good.
I mean, I think it's, as Chris said, it's bullshit. To me, you could have spent your money on something more tangible.
I mean, a $6 million house is tangible.
Very fucking tangible.
I mean, okay.
Can you really call a $6 million house a house? Don't you have to say that's a mansion? You got to say some properties.
No. It's a house. Let them call it what they want to call it. Okay. It's a $6 million house. It's tangible. Just call it a spade a spade. Niggas got played. We need to stop pretending with this bullshit. We got played, yo. And the sooner people realize that and accept that, the quicker we can move forward. We get played based off our emotions. Black Lives Matter. That's something that you cannot refute. You can't sit there and say fuck Black Lives Matter. You can't. You legitimately can't, because that title, even though I'm saying fuck Black Lives Matter because I'm talking about the movement,
the organization.
I'm talking about the organization.
Yeah.
But let's just say I'm a white person that said this shit. If I'm a white person that said that, I'm saying fuck Black, he probably talking about the organization. How does that sound?
And that became the calling card for the social justice reforms and all the initiatives.
And what happened with that?
Nothing. People would just kind of donate it for a year, and they would have certain initiatives to make people feel included and all that other shit. But and they donated to Black Lives Matter, which we all know.
Niggas, you got played. Just say that.
Oh, you want to know what the average? They got $90 million, bro. You want to know what the average donation amount was?
What?
$30. They got a lot of fucking donations, bro. A lot of people.
So you had to donate 30.
No, you didn't have to donate. You could donate however much you want. I'm saying the average amount of money that people donated was $30.
This is just records from when was these records? Like
these were released like a couple months ago.
Right. So
like
there's no telling what money they have that's unaccounted for.
Well, so this is, like I said, this was just in the fiscal year ending June of 2021. So we haven't seen anything going forward.
I hope that I'm wrong. But it doesn't look good, y'all.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
Stop saying it doesn't look good. It ain't good. We got played. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, can we stop with the bullshit, niggas? We got played, bro. Just say it.
I mean, they're outside of the house.
They
what other tangible actions have we seen from Black Lives Matter? And this was something that has been said for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I think this is how this whole thing even came up to being, because it's just like, bro, y'all got all this money. What are y'all doing?
And my thing is like, if you want to sit there and do whatever the fuck you want to do with the money, that's fine. Like, I personally, I don't, like, I ain't gonna say I don't give a fuck, because I do, especially when there's a lot of it is based off the the plight of black people. But at the same time, it's like, shit, call a spade a spade. You want a $6 million house, you got one. To get away from, and I found it one of the reasons why she had the house. I remember she ended up staying in the house.
She had a son's birthday party at the house.
No, fuck that too. But that too. But like, one of the reasons why she ended up staying in the house is because she was saying her life was being threatened, and she needed a place to go for refuge. Mm-hmm. But the place that she went is in the house in the same neighborhood, which is the same people you're trying to fight as far as white supremacy and oppression. It's so fucking funny to me. Like, it is legitimately a comedy skit, and nobody is saying shit.
I mean, it definitely looks like we got hustled.
We did.
You know what I'm saying?
God damn it.
Just call a spade. Just say what it is. We got played. We got played.
So, okay. And also playing devil's advocate. But not really saying devil's advocate, just a different perspective.
Fair enough.
How many predominantly white organizations have been doing this to years?
Fuck it. See, here we go.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Silver lining. If anybody is going to come up off of it,
you was cool. You was cool until you mentioned that. Why is it every time when if we fuck up with something, whatever the case is, the first thing we do is, well, white people do it too. Fuck. Listen.
You're correct.
Hold on, wait.
I'm sorry.
All due respect, other races. Fuck y'all for 1 minute. Let's focus on just us.
60 seconds.
Let's just focus on just us. Mm-hmm. Take that part out.
Right.
How does it look? Not to say how does it look. What is it?
I mean, I can say it looks like we got played.
Cool. Now let's go with the fact that, okay, white people been doing this for however. Yeah, white people been doing this for. All right, cool. Let's go with that.
Right. At
least with white folks in their organization, they're helping somebody. Right. Maybe in some way, shape, or form.
So when they probably built like 2 houses in Haiti after receiving millions of dollars in donations.
Maybe. Let's just go with that. I don't want to go with this argument.
Right.
Okay, but let's just say that. Uh-huh. What did these niggas do?
They gave $21.7 million in grants to various organizations.
To who?
I don't know who.
And once you look up those organizations, look up their leaders. All of them are somebody that they know. And when the shit is been, what the hell are you doing?
My bad.
And
I was trying to look.
And then here's the thing, like with the money that's being donated,
right?
It's like, all right, here's a $10,000 donation. All right, yeah, cool. I'm going to make sure this is. I'm gonna send this to the proper people. This is what they do. They didn't say how much of it.
They didn't say how much.
They just said they're gonna send this donation or to where it needs to go.
Right.
So that $10,000 can turn to $2,500 real quick. That will leave $7,500 unaccounted for.
And a lot of times, when people donate to organizations, it's like endowments over time. So they may commit to like giving $10,000, but it may be spread out in like $1,000 payments.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Over a certain period of time.
On some old AT&T shit. 36 months, you get this little small credit.
Yeah, man. So, you are absolutely correct. I 100% agree with you. I'm just saying, little silver lining in my book. At least.
The heart in us. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same thing about like, it's hard to digest because we believed in this. You feel what I'm saying? And we now feel betrayed like how we've been betrayed for hundreds and hundreds of years.
No, we don't feel betrayed. We still gonna get it. The niggas will still get our money. Let's stop saying
No. I'm not saying them, but personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, as black people, we was like, oh shit, it's a movement. Yes, let's go with it. And then all of a sudden it turns around and like you said, they fucked us. Or they hustled us. Whatever the case would be. It's like that build up, like, God damn, G.
Just quick
Can't y'all niggas do something right?
Quick question. Speaking of hashtags, the NBA Finals is on. When's the last time you seen a Black Lives Matter hashtag on NBA?
Oh yeah, all that's dead.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
All that's dead. And all that stuff. I mean, because but Black Lives Matter actually started. That hashtag actually started. Wasn't that with Mike Brown? And isn't that when it originally started? Somewhere around that time.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was. Maybe it was. I want to say maybe it was even
yeah.
Trayvon, bro. Like the Black Lives Matter is like that hashtag has been around for a while. I don't know exactly when this organization started, but they got a lot of money in 2020.
I want to know who owns the rights of Black Lives Matter. Like, who owns that trademark?
Well, the person that started was a very, very, very wealthy white man named George Soros. That's the nigga that started it. If you really want to get to the bottom of it, but that's a whole nother conversation.
George Soros. So I've seen that. And to be quite honest with you, so I dug into like this current situation, just to see what was going on with the financials. I honestly didn't dig too deep into like the beginnings of Black Lives Matter as a whole. Just because like over the years, like you see it in words and in letters, like it's in hashtags on like not in the NFL because they was like fuck that shit, but in the NBA, you know what I'm saying, other sports and other places.
Wait. Yeah, bro, the NFL they did have the signage.
They had Black Lives Matter. I don't remember seeing the NFL.
No. Them rich white hunkers went by to have that bullshit.
Yeah.
Or the players was wearing the t-shirts and shit during practice.
I know one team that they have it. Jerry Jones. The Cowboys did. Jerry Jones was letting that nigga shit fly.
Well, I know the NBA definitely had it everywhere. They even had it on the court at one point in time.
Nigga Lives Matter does not unless it's making him money.
Right.
But you can't fuck up his money. Once you fuck up his money, it's a wrap. Same with the other 20-some white owners in it in the NFL.
Yeah, man. Shit's crazy. Either way it go, man. Black Lives Matter, man. I pray that's not true. I hope y'all come back.
I mean, a lot of it can't be disputed. Like they I mean, you know what I'm saying? They've mismanaged the funds. That at this point in time, that much cannot be disputed. Now, what can be up for I can't even talk. What can be up for debate at this point in time can be what their intentions were. If they really were trying to hustle, which is what it appears to be, and kind of what I've always suspected, with me not playing as devil's advocate, just saying how I truly feel, I felt like this for a long fucking time because I've always wondered, when I first started seeing them talking about donate to Black Lives Matter, it's just like, what is that an actual organization? What do they do? I haven't seen like any sort of like conferences or any initiatives, any sort of like action plans coming directly from Black Lives Matter. It's always just been a hashtag, and it's been a saying that's been up for debate. Where people want to say all lives matter or blue lives matter or what have you. But I've never known them to be an actual organization out here doing shit. So, but like I said, you can debate what their intentions were. What can't be debated right now is the fact that they mismanaged the money. And they were tricking that shit off and buying $6 million mansions.
Having pool parties with Cristal.
Right, in Toronto, you know what I'm saying, kicking it with Drake and shit.
Get it. Man, that's fucked up. Like I said, hopefully you guys get it together. Hopefully hopefully these things come to be lies. If it's not,
I mean, like I said, there's new leadership.
Well, we'll see. We'll definitely see how it go.
Yeah, man. So I mean, we'll see what they come up with.
What the outcome would be.
But as of right now, like I said, man, this shit ain't looking too good.
One thing we need to focus more on is this, like, gun control in America.
Well, that's a transition.
Yeah.
But what we do? Can I ask you a question? What do you mean by gun control? I'm very, very curious about that. Me personally, this is how I feel about gun control.
Okay. So
wait a minute. Let's make sure we're setting the platform properly first. So
okay,
this is based off are we talking about are we about to get into the shooting? Let's talk about the shooting first. Then we get into the gun control part because we kind of jumping in.
Yeah, I mean, but it goes intertwined because these are shootings.
Like, that was a terrible segue, brother.
I'm sorry.
Such a terrible
segue.
It's so terrible, in fact, that you also segue to the wrong topic. We were supposed to go to the other one first, but
Which one is that?
We already on it.
So we got to keep going. We're gonna go with it. It's okay. But no.
You know what? We should have put them on the screen. You're right.
Well.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
This motherfucker, man. So all right. So we've had a rash of mass shootings over the past few months. Well, really just the past month, right? On May 14th in 2022, this year, an 18-year-old white male killed 10 people and injured 3 others in a Buffalo supermarket.
Black people.
I was just about to say, all of the victims were black. The gunman intentionally targeted black people.
Thank you.
10 days later, on May 24th, an 18-year-old Hispanic male killed 19 children and 2 teachers, also wounded 17 others. June 1st, in Tulsa, a man killed 4 people and himself at a hospital. He was upset because he was experiencing back pain as a result of a recent back surgery. So he killed, the doctor was one of the people that he killed.
Some John Q type shit almost.
There was also a shooting at a church in California.
Mm-hmm. There's only one person killed in that one.
Yeah, it was only one person that died, but like 5 other people were shot. There was a 14 people shot today in Philadelphia.
Man.
So there's a lot going on in terms of that. So do you feel like, or do you guys feel like there's a gun issue in America?
Yes.
Do we need more stricter? I always struggle if stricter is a word. Is stricter a word? It doesn't sound like it should be.
Strict.
What is gun control? What gun laws do you think?
Me, this is what I think. If you go buy a gun, it should be some psychiatric
evaluation. That's an infrastructure thing. So to have like a psych eval for every person that wants to buy a gun.
But I mean, they take like 10 to 15 minutes. The thing about it, we have to
perform a proper psych evaluation.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying.
But period, like, there have to be something we can do, some law we can place to make sure the right people are buying guns and not these fucking idiots. You could be 18 years old and buy a rifle, 21 to buy a handgun. So it's just
the buddy in Tulsa bought the gun hours before. Like he bought the gun, and then drove to the hospital.
Why is he able to buy the gun in the first place?
I mean,
like, should it be some type of, like, here, when you go get a license for a gun, you have to go through classes, you have to go through a little learning session, go to a shooting range, and then boom, there you go. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Most of these states don't have that. You can just walk in there at 18, I want the sawed-off shotgun with those shells at a Walmart and walk out and go fucking kill a whole bunch of fucking kids without no restrictions.
Okay, question. How many of the let's just say Chicago. How many of these shootings going on in Chicago do you believe these niggas went to an actual gun store and bought them legally? Hold on.
No, I was just saying.
No, that's not what you're saying. Because you mentioned legally buying a gun.
Right.
So for you saying stricter gun laws, right? Cool.
Gun laws also go with.
Wait.
Gun laws definitely go to.
Who follows gun law? Who follows laws?
Law-abiding citizens, people that are not criminals, people that are not going to go and kill.
So here's my thing. Let's talk about another bigger portion of this as well. First of all, you're not going to be able to stop. It's going to be highly impossible to stop mass shootings to the degree that people think is going to happen. I don't think in America, I don't think you're going to be able to stop that. But let's just talk about gun violence in general. Like, this is always a hot topic. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. The majority of gun violence in America is done by people that are in bad socioeconomic situations. That's an undisputable fact. So the people that are performing these acts are not obtaining these guns legally. So with that in mind, what laws can you put in place for somebody that is not a law-abiding citizen to follow?
So, to your point, I think you're talking about gun violence. So most of these, in these cases, in the mass shootings, of all those that we just named, all of those guns were purchased legally.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. That's an issue. I'm not saying that's not an issue.
They went through the proper channels. You're right. Now I agree with you, and that's another argument I have with people because Chicago becomes like the poster child.
And I'm only using that because I'm from Chicago. I feel like I can speak.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Chicago is like whenever people want to talk about gun control, people just say Chicago like it's a fucking adjective. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the example right there. All you got to do is say Chicago, right? And to your point, most of the gun violence that happens here does not happen with legally purchased firearms. These are guns that are obtained illegally. In terms of like mass shootings and that type of stuff that happens, so you got to think about culturally the causes for these things.
Right. Okay.
Right.
We know that. That's
so but see the thing is,
so it's not the gun laws then.
Exactly. So
okay.
So no, I'm not sitting. I'm
just saying, like, what point are we making?
I'm not sitting here saying that there doesn't need to be some sort of change in terms of gun laws. Like the fact that my man was just able to go buy a gun and then just go right out, like not even take, you just go in there. There's no process. Like if you are buying something that's powerful that can kill multiple people, there probably should be
like a background check.
Yeah, or some sort of regulation.
There is one.
Yeah,
it's a federal background check that was a part of the Brady Bill in 1993. So that's already been done. But that
doesn't happen everywhere, right?
Yes, it does. You legally cannot purchase a gun without a federal background check ever since Bill Clinton signed that into law in 1993. So that's bullshit.
So that's federal.
That's federal. So that's over state.
Okay.
So why was he able to go to a Walmart?
I mean, that shit happened quickly.
No, because but when it comes to you being able to has a background check, you can get once you go, it's either done. Is you either get an instant clearance or it'll take you a couple of days. Then depending on the state, there's a cool down period. Some states don't have a cool down period. Like for example, in Illinois, there's a 72-hour cool down period. In California, you have to wait, I think 10 days. I think it's 10 days or a month, something crazy. In New York, is a different cool down period. But as far as federally, there has to be a background. It has to be a background check for literally every single one. I have 18, so I know what the fuck.
How does a person go buy a gun like immediately, like without a background check?
They can't. You can't. So
that's what he did.
Oh goodness gracious. So let me get this straight. He walked in. Hey, I want that gun. All right, here it'd be $24.99. He paid $24.99, grabbed it and walked out.
That's what's being reported.
Yes,
that's what's being reported, and y'all believe that, right? Okay, so if that's the case, that means he illegally purchased it.
Look,
wait a minute, hold on. This is what we're going with.
He was supposed to.
So he illegally purchased it.
It's not saying that he illegally purchased it.
No, I'm not saying he illegally purchased it. But the fact of the matter is, the report says he woke up in the morning. Whatever he did, errands, whatever, walked into a Walmart, brought a shotgun, brought the shells, walked out 2 hours later into the school. There has been plenty of cases. My cousins are from down south. Wait, hold up. My cousins are from down south. You can go into Walmart and buy a gun. There is no background check in some of these states. And if it is a background check, they're not doing it properly. So once again, when you say gun laws, this goes about all the way to how a gun store can get a license and what are the requirements of him serving his customers. Because if he's serving his customers that's underage or buying a gun and not doing a proper background check or whatever the case may be, he should be shut down. So he should be illegal. There need to be better and stricter laws when it comes all across the board, from the higher up all the way down to the middle person or to the lower toll person. It has to be some type of laws or some type of way to stop these guns from getting into certain neighborhoods. We know why they're getting in certain neighborhoods.
How they get into certain neighborhoods?
Trains.
Okay,
here in Chicago, there's plenty of people breaking into trains.
Listen to what you're saying. So let me get this straight. What does a gun law have to do with if there's a
okay? So maybe I'm using the gun law thing in the wrong.
No, we're gonna talk about this in 2
spectrum.
seconds because this is another perfect point. So like for example in Chicago, this happens at least I think the last report it was on the news was like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm sure it happens a lot more than that.
A lot more.
But I remember this shit as a kid. There's always freight trains that especially in Inglewood, it stops in the same spot and they'll stop for hours or days at a time. And these particular crates that should have some type of armed security or some type of something on there to protect that to protect that was on there. On more than one occasion, those crates were broken into, and it was military-style rifles on those freight trains. Now, hold on. So now we're talking about people that did not purchase these legally. We're talking about hundreds, if not thousands of guns, right, that are in the streets right now. Now, all of these are purchased illegally. They were obtained illegally, right? So if they were obtained illegally, what extra gun laws could we have to protect that from happening?
A law of not transporting those on a train, possibly.
Okay, all right, we can, because that doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can't find another way to deliver guns.
Wait, hold on, bro, hold on, stop.
There's not another way to deliver guns.
Stop.
Train is the only way we could deliver guns,
bro.
Okay,
you are okay.
There's no trucks. It means something.
Look, all right. So I'm looking up federal gun. So I looked up that act that you were talking about, right? Hold on, no, I'm sorry. See, you just distracted me. Now I lost it. Basically, that law, when it was originally passed, has now become basically to limit interstate commerce and to regulate that. Not necessarily. Most states still are. It's very murky, and that's what they're kind of talking about federal legislation right now, because everything that you can do in terms of purchasing a gun really varies a lot from state to state. Now, what you're talking about, guns on trains, I'm not. You kind of lost me there.
I mean, I'm just saying, like he said, the guns on trains, people break into the trains because the trains are purposely spotted in Inglewood for 3 or 4 hours. Hey, niggas, come get y'all guns. We can't see shit.
I mean, who put them there, by the way? Who do you think left them there?
So, okay.
I mean, we understand that.
Wait a minute. No, we don't. Who do you think put it? Mind you, we talking
the
about
government.
But you want a federal gun? Do you not hear what you're saying?
I mean,
Larnell, listen to what you just said.
Hey, look, I'm a very optimistic person.
No, but listen to what you
me
just
personally,
said. Wait a minute.
I am a person that still believes in voting the right people in to pass certain laws. Now, if you don't give a fuck or don't really give a fuck about government, which you clearly said you don't give a fuck about the government.
When did I say I didn't give a fuck about the government?
Well, not just not give a fuck about the government. You don't
when
have
did
faith
I
in
say
it.
That?
Okay, I just said you didn't say it, but you just don't have faith in it.
I'm just saying from what you just said.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That contradicts, though.
Not really. No, it doesn't. How? Just because I want my government to work better
Larnell,
creating a way to stop bringing guns in the hood?
You literally just said that the government is the one that is dropping this shit off, right? You just said that, but then you want the same government that's doing this shit on purpose.
Okay, so Chris, what do you expect us to do? What do you expect us to do?
You said this.
I'm asking you a question. What other option?
What
other option we have though?
Larnell.
What other option? What other option do we have?
Wait a minute. Don't spin this on me.
What other option?
Don't spin this on me. I'm just saying you want the government to create. This is I'm going by what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, so I'm confused as far as what more.
Because I still have faith in it. I still have faith in it somehow, some way.
And there are no.
Is that wrong?
There are no comprehensive background checks federally.
What's a comprehensive background check?
That means that there's one standard for background checks for every state, right? So every state is allowed to do basically what they want to do.
Now,
in
they
terms
are
of gun
federally
law.
mandated to have to provide a background. If they do not, then they're doing something illegally.
Okay, so if that is the case, how is this person? Because they never said that it was illegal for him to when he purchased a gun. And I feel like we're spending too much time debating this one fact.
Okay.
But I should have done, because I didn't expect us to like really go off into a gun control debate. So I didn't really properly research the actual laws for gun control. So I am ignorant to that fact. I can't sit here and intelligently debate like what these laws are. You obviously are heavy into gun ownership, so I'm going to defer to you, right? What I'm telling you is based off of what I read about that guy in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He purchased a gun hours before he went and shot the people at the hospital. Now, whether that was done illegally or not, that was not reported, and I feel like that would have been an essential, because I've read a few articles about this from a few different outlets, and none of those outlets was it ever said that he purchased a gun illegally. And I feel like, especially in today's climate with all these mass shootings, with people really pushing for gun control, that would have been something that would have been mentioned. So what I'm saying is, I don't know how it's possible. I'm not sure what the exact gun laws are. But what I'm saying is, this dude went and purchased a gun hours before he went and killed people. Now, whether or not there are facts missing, maybe he went before and like they did have a background check. I don't know. That wasn't reported in anything that I saw. But I think that is kind of like I said, we've kind of got into the weeds about you, and then you like in terms of like people dropping like and people going to like get guns off the freights. Yeah, I mean, we all know, have seen, and have heard things, right? But like in terms of that going on, that is a completely separate issue from. Is it? I feel like it is, because so to what you're saying, to your point, you want if you believe that the government are intentionally putting firearms
they are
in our communities. Okay, then why would you trust those same people to then create gun control laws? I mean, but that's kind of I think that is also a separate debate, because that's something that, I mean, it's like that's just like we trust the FDA to regulate food for us to be healthy, but that's controlled by the people that are manufacturing the food. So they're going to pass whatever they want. So that's kind of how like our government works, to be quite honest with you. Oh, man. Which is why like the NRA has one of the biggest lobbying groups, which is why we really don't have comprehensive background checks and like universal gun control. Yeah, it's exactly why we don't have stuff like that. So I get your point, but the fact of the matter is, it's my personal belief that it's really easy to point the finger at gun control, and just say like, okay, well, we just need to have stricter gun laws, and that's going to fix all the problems. That's what all you've seen through this past month or so since these shootings have started is that we need gun control. We need gun control, and I think we're ignoring the cultural issues that we have and the obsession that American people have with guns and violence in general, right? Now, obviously, it's a lot easier to pass a law to regulate guns than it is to like shift culture. But no other country in the world has the issues that we have when it comes to this.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
But we don't have all the world's guns, right?
Right.
Isn't it, you know what I'm saying? So guns essentially that's not the problem. That is a symptom. If motherfuckers want to kill somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people say like all these like acts of violence wouldn't happen if there were no guns. Well, I mean, people were sending anthrax through the mail, fucking pipe bombs. Timothy McVeigh in fucking what was it, in Oklahoma, the Oklahoma City bomber.
So what you're saying is, if somebody wants to kill somebody, some deranged motherfucker wants to kill somebody,
they're gonna figure out a way to do it.
So ain't got shit to do with guns.
And so, but guns are one of the easiest things to get. You have to have supplies and shit like that to build a bomb. It takes a lot more thought. So guns are one of the easier things to get if you're just like feeling upset one day, just like Buddy, like Dr. the Buck, fuck my back up.
No, you know what I'm saying? Let me say this. I'm not. All I'm saying is, as far as, first of all, I'm not a firm believer. I don't give a fuck if nobody wants, they agree or disagree on this one. But like, I don't believe everybody should have access to a gun. I don't believe that at all.
No,
but
absolutely not.
But at the same time, when I say that, I have to keep in mind that if I believe that, then I can't have access to one. So you see what I'm saying? So I had to be kind of open-minded about that. But I feel like it's easy for a bitch nigga or a pussy motherfucker to sit there and do some heinous shit because they have the ability to do it and not be next to them. I'm with you on 100. I'm with you on 1,001% on that. The only thing that bothers me is when shit like this happens, the first thing is ban guns. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
That's the easiest solution. That's the easiest thing that people can say when something like this happens. Somebody used a gun, so okay, then let's just ban guns or like control guns.
But as we already noted, that the people that does a lot, the good majority of it did not obtain this shit legally. So if you're going to create a law, what law can we create? Granted, I'm not saying this is up for us to continue to try to figure out, because it's not. Because this is a question that's not going to be answered.
Right.
It's just one of those things where you have to ask yourself, what laws can be created for somebody that does not obey the fucking law? It doesn't make sense. That's one to me, it doesn't make sense. That's just me.
And there's also, and you got to think about, the guy in Texas, the Hispanic man, he was 18 years old. Apparently he was bullied.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what being bullied makes you want to kill children, because he was in high school. He was 18-year-old. He went to a middle school to do this. So he shot.
He's a coward.
He shot his grandmother first. He didn't buy the gun the same day. He got it before. He purchased it like some weeks before. He shot his grandmother first. Stole the car, right? And just to kind of like talk about this, because this story is really kind of wild. He stole the car. He stole his grandmother's car. Drove 2 miles to the school, crashed the car right in front of the school. 2 guys that were passing by was trying to like come help him, see if he was okay. He shot at them and then ran towards the school. He got inside the school at 11:30. They didn't subdue him until 12:50.
That's a long ass time.
He shot 19 children, 2 teachers, and wounded 17 other people. When the police chief arrived, officers tried to go into the school. He shot one of them, grazed him in the head. So the police chief then decided to just sit back and basically treat it as not as an active shooter, but as he was contained. But he was actually in the school.
He's in a fucking school. What do you mean?
So that whole thing was a clusterfuck, right? It took, because there were over 140 law enforcement personnel on the scene. It took a group of them, some border patrol agents and a couple of. It wasn't like all one group of certain one department to finally say, "Fuck this shit, we're going in." Right? What makes somebody do something like that is not the fault of the gun. And that's not saying it should have been harder for him to get it or maybe impossible. That's somebody that could have used a thorough fucking psych evaluation and a background check, right? But then you have somebody like, when we talk about background checks and psych evaluations, right? The kid in Buffalo had a psych evaluation. He bought this shit without his parents even knowing.
He brought it off the street, probably.
No. He purchased it legally. He purchased that shit. He had basically wrote like it was some sort of school project where he talked about a mass shooting, and he got off saying it was a joke, but he had to go the police came in, they had to give him a psych evaluation and everything, right? And
it's crazy.
He basically passed it off as like he was joking, but he was telling people that he was serious. He was able to buy a fucking gun, right?
He shouldn't be able to.
He should not have been able to. But you thinking about what fueled his rage, right? He believes he's on the fringes of the internet. He believes in the replacement theory. He believes that white babies should not be aborted because they believe, in a few years, white people are supposed to be a minority in this country. So they believe that there's an agenda to replace white people in power, and these are people that are actively trying to do something about it. He drove 3.5 hours away from where he lived. He did reconnaissance. He specifically targeted that county in New York. It's in East Buffalo, where Griselda is from. It's 75%.
Boom, 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 boom. Sorry. Griselda, man.
I understand. The county is 75% black. He intentionally sought that out, right? Did reconnaissance, went up to the store the day before, posted a manifesto online, and shared it with people on a Discord server before he actually committed the act. Live streamed the shit. All of these things happen. Somebody that has that in their mind, the gun was just a tool.
Yeah, that's true.
But what really needs to be addressed is what people are consuming that's making them have these thoughts. That makes him feel like, I have to go kill black people because white people are in danger in this country.
I mean, well, to be fair, there's legitimately no way you can stop that from being consumed. You can't. Because let's just say hypothetically there was no internet, and you can only go by what you learned from experience and from the people that raised you. He would have that same mindset, assuming there was, like, if he didn't look none of this shit up, he would have got that from his family. So the mindset would have been there.
I'm not. No, and you're absolutely correct, because these are some of the same conspiracy theory shit that was happening in Reconstruction. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of thinking that led to, like, the Ku Klux Klan. You know, because in Reconstruction, the period that a lot of people don't talk about, black people were making a lot of gains in this country, and white people felt threatened. They felt like black people were going to do the same thing to them that they have done to us, so we have to stop it. And this is essentially the same thing, right? My point is that he would have figured out another way in order to carry this shit out, because they've been doing it for years, right? It's just like the gun is just a tool. And, like, now I'm not sitting here and saying, like, this is something that can be legislated, right? Or this is something that I have a solution for. But what I'm saying is, you talk about symptoms and not the disease. You got to make the main thing the main thing. And so we have a cultural issue in America. It's not just about gun control. Like, there is an issue with how we live, how this country was founded, the very principles that this country was founded on. The issues that we have will always be here because it is ingrained in the American fabric. It's just the way it looks changes. The way people carry out the violence changes. So, I mean, and in the meantime, it should be hard. Shorty shouldn't have been able to buy a gun. There's no way, after threatening to shoot up a school and having a psych evaluation, he at least should have been fucking red flagged. He bought the guns and his parents didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know that, especially with these little man shooting. Like, a lot of this shit be happening with these little deranged ass kids. Lock their parents up. Bet you any amount of money, a lot of shit would change. Granted,
a lot of things may change.
If you were a legal adult, maybe not. But especially if you're a minor, like you're a 16-year-old kid, like, you know, kids out here going to school.
Wilding out.
Hell yeah. Lock their parents up. I'm willing to bet a lot of that shit.
Shit would definitely change.
Yeah.
If you threaten to lock me up because I ain't do shit.
Like, here's the thing. For example, like the school shooting happened in Michigan. Their parents are being litigated for this shit. Good. They need to be. Like, for example, like if let's just say your daughter, if she's still a minor, she is. Yeah. So if she went right now and just started to break some random car windows, the owner of that car can sue you. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to bet you're gonna find a way to make sure that shit don't happen again. That is one of the things I think that need to be done. That's just my opinion. Like, I kid you not. That is something I think we let the parents get away with shit. We let the kids run shit. They feel like can nobody stop them, and in a way they correct.
I mean, that would be a deterrent. But there are also people that do everything they can for their kids, and they still turn around and do crazy shit. That might be the minority, but it's kind of like you put good people, when you talk about that, you could risk like putting very good people in jail based off the acts of somebody. It doesn't mean that they didn't try. It doesn't mean that they actually didn't try to raise their children.
Here's the thing. Like, for example, I have guns at home, right? I make sure that my kids cannot have access to that shit.
Your guns.
Yes.
Right.
So
but what about if they go out and purchase their own?
No. See, we talking about legal versus illegal. But we talking about, but hold on, let's talk about what a good majority of these guns that we talking about mass shootings specifically. A lot of those were purchased, let's just say legally, right? Okay. Right. And then especially either the parents got it for them, or specifically the people that are not adults. Let's talk about the minor children. The parents got it for them, or it was their parents' gun.
Right.
If they have access to it, you should be liable, being the parent. And like, for example, if one of my daughters grabbed one of my guns and started doing dumb shit, I should be held liable for that. Especially if I don't block the shit up to make sure that she cannot access it.
Right, that she can't get to it.
Right. In that instance, yeah, absolutely. You should be liable because that is based on something that you failed, where you failed to act. Yeah, something that you should have done that you did not do. Now, I agree with it in that situation.
Now, but as I hear what you're saying, like, oh, good people get locked up. Okay, fine, whatever. I should at least be able to sue the parents. So, for example, letting kids out there that was like doing anything dumb. They said they had the 16-year-old kid came in and he shot 10 people. I should be able to sue that kid's parents for $1 million.
I mean, and that's you talking about being.
They got some shit that if they can control it. If there was something like, for example, if it was their gun.
I mean, so if it was their gun, something like that. But okay, let's just take the kid in the Uvalde in Texas. Mm-hmm. He shot his grandmother. Like, so do we really want to think that they're responsible? Do we want to open them up to litigation?
He was an adult. That's what I'm saying for people. Like, but technically, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's an adult, so it's like, yeah. By the eyes of the law,
in the eyes of the law, but he's still a child at 18, right?
According to America, you can join.
But when you're talking about criminal, when you civil litigation, those parameters could be different, right?
But he's still an adult.
I mean, at this point, what I'm saying is, I don't think that. So if he was 17, he could have done the same shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess he wouldn't have been able to legally purchase a gun.
There you go.
So, okay.
You see how that line?
Hey, man.
Yeah, we've been on this topic for a while.
Some things has got to change.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. No, I agree.
Some things got to change.
Some things, dude. I'm with you 1,001%. I don't like saying this shit. This shit is.
It's sad.
It's
man.
horrible. It's horrible.
And all of us got kids. Yeah. So just imagine you being at home and getting that phone call.
Oh, dude, I couldn't even.
Bro, if being one of those kids, being one of those parents that was in Texas trying to get into that school.
Yo, I couldn't.
Oh no, I'd have broke that door down.
Police officers are trying to arrest people, put people in handcuffs for trying to go get their children.
I would have been locked up because I would have.
There's no way you wouldn't have been able to hold. Yeah, you would have had to. There's the only way.
So it's a dude on Instagram. He's military, black guy, but he also teaches. Gun. He helps you get your gun license, gun laws, and shooting range and stuff like that. But he was talking about. He was like, at the end of the day, me personally. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm sitting in front of a school because legally, I can sit here because I have a license.
I saw that.
And Mike said it. Yes, Mike said it.
Yeah. So he was like, because that shit in Texas should have never happened in the first place. Yeah. And then I sent you guys a video on Instagram about the school that's in New Mexico that all the teachers and the principal all have guns.
Now that's fucking ridiculous because a lot of people are suggesting that the teachers need to be prepared to know how to use a firearm. And if that's
where we at? That's where we at.
This is what the solution is supposed to be.
This is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Arming fucking teachers.
Look, and the lady walked in the classroom and asked the kids, do you feel safer knowing that your teacher has a gun? And they said yes.
Bro, should there be can there be armed security? I'm not for every fucking teacher having a gun.
I'm not ready for Ethel. Ethel, 85-year-old.
Really
she's been teaching for 35 years.
Yeah. I think that's going to shorten the teaching. It's already as short as the teachers, but you really shorten
the
teaching.
So it's like this is out of all the shit that teachers already have to deal with, now they actually have you the first fucking line in the event of an active shooter.
The commercial.
And you already don't pay him shit.
You seen the commercial? Did you see the commercial?
What commercial?
The little commercial. I think it was not a real commercial.
No, it was a real one.
It was a real one?
About the back to school commercial. You talking about that?
Yeah, with the kids when she was like, my mama brought me these Nikes and it was showing her running and the other girl put off the sock to tie around the wound.
I think that was the people, the survivors or the parents. Was it Sandy Hook?
St. Hood or Parkland, one of the two.
Yeah, one of those where there was like a lot
of
children were killed. There was a school shooting.
That's
Basically,
crazy.
It was like for like gun control. Yeah, and it's we've been on this topic for a long time.
We have.
We didn't get a chance to discuss everything that we were supposed to in regards to that, but we gonna have to.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we've
been away from each other for damn near a month.
So
you feel what I'm saying?
I really want to mention. So we're not gonna spend too much time on this one, but I just really want to mention this in regards to the woman that was found
chained up in
the abandoned house.
Okay, we can touch on that briefly.
Yeah. So on May 23rd, a woman was found chained in the basement of an abandoned house. Her legs were chained, her hands were handcuffed. Like a guy was walking past and just heard her screaming for help.
Right. I saw. Yeah.
So she's 36 years old and homeless and possibly a sex worker, allegedly. So she was luckily found. Now she said that her attacker, she knew the guy. Like she had conversations with him before, right? So who knows if that person hadn't walked past, what would have happened? But there are people that believe that there has been a serial killer on the loose in Chicago for a long time. Since 2001, there have been more than 50 unsolved murders.
And wait, real quick. That's from 2001.
From 2001 now,
to now.
Yeah.
How many?
More than 50 unsolved.
Unsolved. And this actually goes back to 76 because Prime, they got a whole documentary about the serial killer because they say it could be the same person.
Well, no, because what I'm talking about, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Something that happens with serial killers, they are copycats, but also serial killers are known to target sex workers, homeless, minority women, because it's basically easy targets and it's easier to get away with. Hence, you have 50 unsolved murders dating back to 2001. All of them have been.
They don't give a fuck about us.
They've been on the south side, the far south side, or the west side. 47% of the women had a history of sex work. Almost of the 50 unsolved. 47% of the women had a history of sex work. 75% of them were black. Right? So they follow a similar pattern. They're raped and beaten, bounded and gagged. Most are stripped of clothing. Some were set on fire. I don't know if you remember some years ago.
Right hand,
they were days apart, where two different women were found burned. Their burned bodies were found in dumpsters, right? Others been found in abandoned buildings, like the young lady that was found in an abandoned building. Very few of these murders have received media attention. Just like a few of them, but out of the 50. A very small percentage have even received media attention. There's a guy named Thomas Hargrove. He's the founder of the Murder Accountability Project, and he's one of the main people that believes there's a serial killer. They've even named this supposed killer the Chicago Strangler. Yeah.
He's the one that did the documentary on Prime.
So
and he talked about it. It was crazy. He broke it all the way down.
The Chicago police doesn't believe that there's a serial killer. They're saying they found different DNA in the crime scenes, but there could be a serial killer that hasn't been proven yet. There's evidence. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that it is, but I think the larger issue is that the rape and murder of women, specifically black women, even more specifically women that are sex workers or homeless, they just don't put the same legwork into a lot of these cases. Some of them could be. So it's just like, so people don't necessarily care as much. Like if let's just say there wouldn't be 50 unsolved murders of like well-to-do white women. In the span of a decade, in a couple of decades, there would be more attention if there was, let's just say, if somebody was on the corner of a dumpster, a woman's body was found in a dumpster on the corner of like Addison and Sheffield, right? As opposed to on like 59th and Eggleston.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
things would be totally different.
Things would be different. And just the fact that we have so many of these cases of black women that have been raped and murdered and not really paid attention to and kind of glossed over, right? And nobody's really trying to get to the bottom of this. And like the police are not, and I'm not sitting here, I'm not trying to actively bash the police. I think this is also more of a cultural issue of how we view people that are some of the most vulnerable in our society. Like I said before, serial killers historically target sex workers, women, minority women, because they're least likely to be caught targeting that demographic. Right. They're easy prey.
They are.
So
because they out late night.
But it's not just late night because they're white prostitutes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. So there's a reason. Like, and I'm not sitting here. All I'm saying is just like there needs to be more noise made about things like this. And when something can go on for this long, and like out of say it was 51, one of those murders was solved. Back in 2020, they found out that a woman, I forgot her name. Her name escapes me right now. But one of her former boyfriends did it, right? You still have 50 people that were not, and these aren't just random shootings. These are people that have been murdered following a pattern. And for Chicago police to essentially completely dismiss the fact or the theory that there is even a serial killer, somehow this is related, or even to try to do anything to try to put measures in place to try to protect this obviously vulnerable population.
They can't.
I think I just think there's a reason why certain people are targeted.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying. You're saying like there needs to be more noise, and then the fact that there's like no measures put in place, they can't. I mean, if you legitimately want to be honest, there's already we were talking about this before. There's a CPD shortage, a heavy CPD shortage.
Yeah,
like, it's to the point where they're like the amount of CPD they're hemorrhaging. Like they're more that are retiring or quitting than they are hiring.
They had over almost 1,000 police officers retiring in 1 month.
Yeah, and I remember my father was one of those people that retired. He retired April last year,
and they tried it.
You know what I mean? So then it's like they can't. It's like, so what resources can even if the Chicago police wanted to? So I mean, if we really, unfortunately, we got to. It is what it is. You have to put this shit in a hierarchy. Which do you think they're going to talk about or try to solve more? The homeless. First of all, I feel for these women. Let me say this, but to the point that you're making, do you think they're going to put more effort as far as the little manpower that they have into since 2001 to now, 50 unsolved murders? That's 50. That's less than 2 a year.
Right.
Versus 50 people that got shot over one fucking weekend.
I mean,
innocent people at that too. You got to add the innocent people that get shot in that too.
Excuse me. That is a fair point. I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're talking about Chicago specifically, but this is historically a problem. You know what I'm saying? Going back to like Jack the Ripper. You know what I'm saying? Like specifically targeting like vulnerable like sex workers. Like that. I mean, it's like it's just such a dangerous.
This is exactly what happens. So after a while, let's just say the ones that are considered a top priority are they get that percentage down as far as solved, right?
Yeah.
Then what they can do is more than likely the police will distribute some of that power into old cases, especially when there's something that is not a lot of cases not going on. That's one of the reasons why you see these documentaries in these different cities, especially smaller counties, that find these serial killers because they don't have the same problems as bigger cities do. So then, let's just say hypothetically in Chicago, what more than likely would happen if automatically right now, let's just say Thanos snap, 75% of the highest crime just gets cut.
Right.
Now the police are like, all right, well, what can we do? The detectives are like, all right, well, let's start rolling back and going back and start looking at these other cases that are going unsolved. Mm-hmm. That's what happens. But unfortunately, they can't. So it's like that's why it's so easy for you to that's one of the reasons why they say like one of the easiest crimes you can get away with is random,
yeah,
homeless, female. And if you want to throw in black, let's throw in black. So just to spice it up some.
I understand your point. I just feel like murder is murder, and there shouldn't be a reason why some people's murders are treated differently than others.
I don't disagree with that. But
I get what you're saying, but that's essentially my point. That life is life. Nobody's life is worth more than any others on this planet. So there shouldn't be any reason why one person's murder is treated differently than any others. I don't give a fuck if they're homeless or if they got billions of dollars. But they should be treated equally.
But here's the problem: who are we relying on to get that done?
I mean, a fucked up hierarchy system anyway. I mean, let's just say
they were competent, but who are we relying on? Are we relying on a particular governmental section to do it? Right. That's it, right?
Yeah, Chicago. I mean,
right. Let's just go.
Excuse me, the Chicago Police Department.
Yeah, so yeah, we're just looking for CPD to solve this, right?
Right.
Okay. Nobody else is gonna do shit. We, the people, are just looking for them to do it, right? So we have to go off what the fuck they get, right?
Yeah.
Right. So my thing is if to be like, I'm with you. I don't want to make it sound like I disagree with you because I don't.
No, I know.
What I'm saying is, as far as all things considered, if we are so upset that, oh yeah, they need to be doing this and this, okay, cool. We are relying on the Chicago police to do this. This group, we have to go by what they have, what they don't have, what they can do, and what they cannot do.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, I'm willing to bet if you go to any CPD station right now, and you sit there and say, "Look, I think it's fucked up that y'all look at this and not this," they're gonna sit there and tell you, "Come volunteer behind this desk for a week."
I mean, I know that police work is hard work. I also believe there are a lot of people doing police work that shouldn't be doing it. I think in the same vein with like teachers. I mean, there are policemen, police officer, teacher, doctor, all this shit. Those are jobs that you should not do just to get a check, right? Now, the fact of the matter is you need bodies, right? So I'm talking about from an ideal world. I mean, that shit ain't never going to happen. You're always going to have people, they're just there to get the money and don't really give a fuck about doing a good job.
Oh, fun fact. The police are not federally obligated to do anything for you.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another thing to keep in mind, too. So we want to sit there and say, like, especially like what happened in Uvalde, Texas, a lot of people pissed at them cops. And, hey, I'm with you. My thing is if you're going to be a cop, I think there should be some sort of wanting to jump in front of a bullet for somebody, but they're not obligated to do so.
No.
And so that's another thing to keep in mind.
Right.
So then with keeping that in mind, that should automatically shift somebody's perspective. Whose job is it to save who? And to prevent what? That's everybody's individual job.
Yeah, we got to save ourselves.
So with that, though, all I'm saying is with that.
Buy your guns now.
No, I'm not. No, hold on. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying like I think that's one of the things that isn't properly talked about. I'm with you. Not everybody should be. I am for one that I do not like police officers. I just don't. Yeah. There's only a few that I fuck with, and I just so happen to know them.
I was about to say, is your father one of them?
One of them, I fuck with my pops, and it's for, like I think I've said this before. One of the reasons why I do not like police officers is because my father was telling me about how the niggas that he was working with this type of shit that they was on. That's one of the reasons why
CPD,
I don't like cops.
The biggest gang in Chicago.
That's right. So let's just say now that's another thing. So we're keeping all that in mind. Are we legitimately gonna whether it be our self-protection when it comes to solving crimes or whatever the case is, are we really going to sit there and should we put our faith in this government at all? And not even like in that particular group, should we really put our faith in them to do whatever the hell we want them to do, what they should do? No. To be fair. So I get what I'm with you.
So, which is also my larger point is that we as people need to be more aware of things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the squeaky wheel gets the oil a lot of times, but also just be more vigilant, man, and just watching out for the women and the people in your village and the people around you.
Of course.
Regardless of what they do or how they live their lives, man, like everybody's life is just as valuable. So everybody deserves that type of protection if possible.
And stop relying on motherfucking police.
Yeah,
y'all,
but
y'all,
just
and let's just for real, real shit, y'all. Like we all talk so much, especially for the people that say fuck the police. Specifically, y'all. If you saying fuck the police, who the fuck are you gonna expect to save you?
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of.
It's weird. That is the most.
The
funniest shit
one
to
thing
me,
about one thing I noticed. So
and in the same. Hold on, not to cut you off. These the same people. They speaking of guns. These the same people that don't like guns. People shouldn't have guns. So fuck the police, and you don't want guns. Okay, do you know you are a criminal's fantasy?
Essentially.
Shit is so
hey, my thing is, it's like I love the good cops, the ones that I know, the ones that I respect, and the ones that I know what you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, because you are the most hated person in the world when you put on that uniform.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And the mental capacity that you have to deal with. Like one cop told me, he like, bro, like you have to think about it. I get up, put the uniform on. I'm the most hated person as soon as I jump in my car, as soon as I get in my patrol car. And I have to come home to my wife and kids. So it's going to be certain situations that you may not agree with.
And these are the same people you want to jump in front of a bullet for you.
I mean, the fact,
fucking crazy. You hate them, but you want them to jump in front of a bullet for you.
I mean, at this point,
like one dude was like, he told me, as a cop, I'll shoot the motherfucker that's shooting, but I'm not finna jump in front of a bullet. Like,
I mean, I don't have the reason, but I don't think anybody should have the expectation of a police officer taking a bullet for them.
No, bullshit. Yeah. Then why the hell the cops in Uvalde, Texas getting all that heat?
No. But no, this is not about them taking a bullet. This is about them not acting. About them not acting to try to subdue the shooter.
Why?
That is your responsibility.
No. Well, it's the same
but
concept.
Why?
But why?
They didn't go in.
Right. That was an operational thing.
No, it wasn't.
Of course, some of it was fear, but ultimately, some people did decide to say, "Fuck this. We're about to go."
Were they cops?
Yes, they were cops.
Okay. Now here's the thing. That was them, right?
Right.
The ones that didn't, remember, they're not federally obligated to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't. Okay, were you talking about a situation where, like, okay, a guy is about to shoot me, and the cop's obligation is to be to the shooter, to try to subdue the shooter, not to try to take a fucking bullet for me.
Exactly.
Because once the cop is dead, then what the fuck you gonna do for me? Then he just gonna shoot me. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just two dead motherfuckers here instead of one.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, they were kids though.
Yeah, that's regardless. I don't think it's a reasonable expectation to have a police officer to step in front of somebody and take a bullet. It's an admirable thing, but I don't think that's what a policeman's job is.
Yeah, well, that's what that's why they're getting heat in Texas. Yeah. I'm just saying, I ain't mean to keep spinning the block on that, but you know.
No. I mean, yeah, and we like before we get off into the weeds on that, I understand that it's not easy to do police work. Mm-hmm. I do understand that now, like, you know, especially with all the events that have happened and the way that policemen have been viewed over the past few years, like, you know, it's not a big incentive for anyone to become a police officer right now. Mm-hmm. I do understand that there are limited resources.
Actually, they've been advertising on radio.
I know.
They've been on every radio station.
Yeah, because they want people to fucking become cops.
And I think the marketing they should hire another marketing company or something.
Yeah, that's a whole completely different. But all I'm saying is I just strategy. I think it's just more attention needs to be paid, and that's basically all I want. The only point I was trying to make, that we can sit here and debate till the cows come home about all that other shit about what the police need to be doing and what they aren't doing. My only argument is about valuing life, and
I agree. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, and that people, nobody's murder should be taken more seriously than anybody else's. And I just don't think there's any sort of coincidence that the fact that most of these women that have been involved in these unsolved murders are black. 3/4 of them.
Yeah, because they just don't care.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing, and that's ultimately, like, you know, that's like black women's lives don't mean as much. Black lives in general don't mean as much, but then black women's lives, like, I mean, it's just like, because you don't see the epidemic of men being killed like that. Well, obviously, and men are going to kill other men because they want to get to people that are vulnerable, which would be women who they're naturally stronger than. Right. But I'm saying, like, but without women, the world doesn't move. So the fact that they are as in the world, in our community essentially, are as vulnerable as they are. It's just something I think needs to change. It's something that needs to be brought attention to.
Within our village. I don't want to.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with that. And I wasn't really trying to place the onus on the Chicago police at all to do anything.
I feel you.
Like that is something that we ourselves, as a village, as you said, need to address. Things like this just shouldn't be allowed to go on for as long as they've been going on.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's it. I think we can wrap that up now.
That was a serious conversation, man. I had to zone out for a second because I just was thinking of all types of crazy shit.
You know what? But you know what I realized that happened this episode?
What?
You didn't get up to piss.
Not one.
Normally, you got to go up to use the bathroom like a fucking toddler.
Man. Because I'm drinking over here. Like, I gotta get comfortable. You feel me?
Yeah, well, good for you, man. I'm glad you were able to make it through this episode.
I know, right? One episode down with not me taking a piss. Hey, man. It's been fun. It's been great.
Yeah, man.
The summertime is here real quick. Chicago, we are here. Summertime is here.
Hoochie Daddy shorts.
Hoochie Daddy shorts. I got my Hoochie Daddy shorts, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a pair of ladies here. I can't wear them outside.
I just hate the term because I've had shorts like that. I mean, it's just if fashion comes back around. We was wearing shorts like that in the 80s.
You can't find shorts that's below the knee.
No, you can't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not for the term hoochie daddy. That shit sounds wild to me.
Yeah, that's
but
why,
I don't have a problem with the shorts at all. You know, so I joke with motherfuckers like you need to like make sure you hit leg day or something. They'll be out here. You know what I'm saying?
That and jean shorts. You don't really see jean shorts.
Yeah, well, jean shorts are hot. I try to avoid wearing any sort of denim in the summertime as much as possible, like because that shit is.
As kids, we didn't.
Well, that's because you didn't really have you had to have jeans. That was like the thing.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
It wasn't no Lululemons.
Right.
No Tarjays.
Hot Deal Summer. That's what it's really about.
Hot Deal.
Oh yeah, you posted that.
Yeah,
what's the acronym? What is it?
I don't know if it's. I don't think I made it.
Yeah, you did.
HDF. I didn't say HDF. I didn't say that. No, it's just a Hot Deal Summer. That's what I'm saying. Oh no, it's starting on Father's Day this year.
But what does it stand for?
It's just a play on words. It's like hot MILF, the DILF.
Dad, I like to. Dad,
Dad, I like to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was just trying to get a breakdown for the audience out there so they can know.
I think anybody is watching this.
Some people would be slow. You know, some people would be slow buying
so
guns.
now
shit.
you're insulting our audience.
Not all the audience is slow, but it's some of y'all motherfuckers out there slow. Shit.
Don't be easily offended, please.
Exactly.
I believe in the shit.
Well, look, this is all I was going to say. Chicago, please. This is our first real summer outside.
Mm-hmm.
We've been locked down for 2 years. I pray for all y'all to have a great fucking summer. Be safe. Take care of the next person next to you. Look out for the women in general all over in the city, period. Mm-hmm. Like, for real. Like, we're here. We've had a lot of shit happen in the past 3 weeks in Chicago. You feel what I'm saying? We need to let's just have a good time and enjoy life. You feel what I'm saying? Because life is too short. You're here one day and gone the next.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? Cherish those moments. Stay off the Instagram and kind of enjoy life. Breathe in the sun, breathe in the air, and just have a good time, man. Summer breeze. Enjoy it.
Makes me feel fine.
Makes me feel fine. Ozzy brothers,
blowing
baby.
through the jasmine in my mind.
Talk to him. Hey man, say something to the people.
Yeah, definitely echo those sentiments, man.
Yeah. Like, go out, please, y'all go outside. Stop, like, goddamn.
Yeah, and be peaceful, man.
Yeah,
you know, like life is meant to be enjoyed, and I understand. You know, I know that we are not inherently violent as Black people, and in our youth, they are not inherently violent. I understand that there are other factors that go into why violence is the way it is, but outside of that, I would just echo your sentiments and just say that we really need to like just hopefully have a really good summer, and we can minimize the violence, man, and we can just all be peaceful and be out here and enjoy ourselves and live, man. You know, we don't need to be our own worst enemy.
True.
Yeah.
Hey man, make sure y'all get y'all tickets. Hyde Park Summerfest is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Wait, who they got? Wait, hold on. I was supposed to pull this shit up. God damn it.
Saturday, I know it's Busta Rhymes, Lupe, Ashanti is Saturday. I know Sunday is Lucky Day, Marsha Ambrosia. I know DJ Terry Hunter is spending on Sunday. Jay Illa is on Saturday. I forgot all the DJs, and I'm pretty sure there's some acts. But if you can go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So Saturday, Busta Rhymes, Ashanti, Lupe Fiasco, Jay Illa, DJ Archive, DJ RTC, Mike P, my nigga Mike P, man. Hey, he opened up Chemistry on 51st and Harper. Grand opening was pretty dope. I want to give a shout out to him for that because that was a real dope. He had the line around the corner.
Okay.
That was real good shit. Okay. Him and Rico Nance own that.
Yep.
Right there in Hyde Park. So who else is on that Saturday? You got DJ Roll, Mustafa Rocks. Then on that, I want to see Ashanti.
Ashanti, man, Ashanti has aged gracefully as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will say, and she definitely keeps a nice muscle tone.
You know what's fucked up? Nobody is going to see her sing. That's really fucked up.
No, because I mean,
y'all bogus.
Ashanti got classics.
No, don't try to clean it up.
She does, but she can't. But she is not known for her vocal ability.
Yeah.
She's going to rock. Hey,
she's gonna.
Ashanti.
Ashanti, I love you.
We love you.
Yeah, don't listen to him. Like we love you at the Easily Offended podcast, Ashanti.
I didn't say that we didn't love her. I ain't say that y'all ain't love her. I said that nobody was going to see her because she's singing. I didn't say you two niggas. I said nobody's going to see her because she's singing. Now y'all sound real guilty right now.
I'm sorry.
I'm going for both. I'm going for her vocal ability and to gaze upon her awesome physique.
She's gonna be there. She'll be there quiet, walking around. Y'all gonna be
hey, she ain't gotta say shit.
Hey man,
she's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. She's fucking gorgeous.
On Sunday it's a chill day. You know what I'm saying? You got Lucky Day, Marsha Ambrosia, my man BJ Chicago Kid.
BJ,
you know what I'm saying?
I forgot.
He gonna be out there. Then you got Terry Hunter, Bulu Master, Wild Child, Malik Shabazz.
You said Janae Aiko is gonna be there, right?
Yes.
How crazy ass.
And Lucky Day. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. I fucks with that album. That album is probably one of the dopest R&B albums out this year.
Yeah, that's dope. I like Lucky Day's album.
You know what I'm saying?
Should be a smashing good time.
Man, make sure y'all get y'all tickets. HydeParkSummerfest.com. Make sure y'all go out and support. There's going to be a lot of vendors out there, a lot of black-owned businesses. Shout out to Dave Jeff. Shout out to Jonathan Swain. You know what I'm saying? Also, make sure y'all go out and check out his speeches and what he stands for because he is definitely running for Congress.
Yes, so shout out to Jonathan
Swain, man.
Shout
we appreciate you. Yeah, everybody. Dave Jeff, the whole thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? What y'all brothers got to say to the people real quick before we leave out?
Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
High Div Summer. Father's Day.
Hey, man. That's Easily Offended Podcast. Make sure y'all follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We here, man. We out.
And you say Shop City.